Really play with some of the best there is in the country?
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, I think that the way you play the game is always fun, right? And that you have so much character and respect in how your performance is shown. And so I think that's vital no matter who you play. If you play the reigning national champion, or if you play, the last person in the planet, it doesn't matter to me. It's how you play the game, and you have pride in what you do, and that you represent your brand no matter what, the best of your ability. And that's what I really am continuing to talk to our kids about this weekend, and just making sure that your last performance on your field this year is something that you have complete pride in what you're doing.
9 seniors, I believe it is, playing their final home series. How will you remember these seniors, and clearly a group that didn't start with you but finished strong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can't really wrap up all of them the same way, right? I mean, each one of them have brought something different to the table in a good way, in their own individuality. And I appreciate how hard they've worked up in this point, and I hope that we continue to have kids that are willing to work hard and really just wanted something better when they come in, to be as gifted as they are, but just to continue to excel and want something better in their time spent here. And I think that's what this class has done.
What do you see when you look at some tape? I mean, clearly they're going to be talented in most places, but specifically, what do you see from Oklahoma and a team that's coming in here this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they can pitch well. Clearly, you have Paige Parker and Lowry, and they have a young kid throwing pretty well for them as well. And so, I think that they give up little numbers, and then they can hit, and they run well and more. And then what they've done in the past is really start to put pressure on the base pass and try to create havoc on defenses. So, our important part is to control what we can control, make sure that we're trying to keep kids off base pass, try to eliminate extra bases, and try to keep the aggressiveness of how we can play the game, and where the outlets are for us to score some runs.
I know it was a while back and clearly before conference play, but I mean, you guys go and play at Alabama, a top-ranked team as well. And I mean, the Big 12 conference is loaded every year, but do you feel like you guys have seen the top-level competition, and just things like that will prepare you for a series like this in any way?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked yesterday about Osorio and facing her, and that she has been the best pitcher we've faced, and we did have, we got a lot of base runners off against her. So the whole point is that we continue to stay in our controllables and make sure that we're still attacking our pitches and keeping our head up in the ways that we can play the game and how we can play the game well. And if you lose sight of that, then you're never going to get anywhere. So you have to make sure that we know and we have pride in how we play the game and our own ability, and we continue to, control our controllables and play within our ability.
You've had a great home atmosphere all season. How vital is that to have everybody come out for sport?
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, I think you see little kids in the stands, you see young families that are out there having a great time. Their vibrancy is contagious, and it helps our dugout be more and more excited. And so I think that it's integral to be able to have that, that buzzing atmosphere, and to be able to play in front of a great crowd. And I hope, again, they'll come out and see some great softball. That's the point, is that you go out and you have great weather and you get to see great softball, and create an atmosphere that gives us an opportunity and have fun.
Coach, I know it takes a complete effort to win a series like this, really any series in conference play, but what's one area that you maybe pinpoint and say we've either got to be better here, or we've just got to be great in general in this area if we expect to beat a good team like this?
Well, I mean, I think continuously we have to hit with runners in scoring position. I mean, constantly we get runners in scoring position, and we're just not able to get them through. So the more that our kids embrace that we're not looking for you to hit the ball into the trees in that situation, like, we really just need you to get on base or hit a bleeder, and that's really important for our kids, to just really have your most tenacious at bats when we have runners on, and be able to put some runs across the plate, not just runners on base.
With a good team here?
Yes, I do think it's a great opportunity just to let it all out, show what we got. We have nothing to lose, so just put it all on the table and go hard.
What do you think is, clearly you have to play a complete game, almost all of these 3 games, in order to play well and to win them. But is there something, Coach said runners in scoring position, just being able to execute there, is that something you see that you guys will have to do really well in this series to make sure you're in it and maybe have a chance to win?
Yes, I think as long as we get runners on and we find a way to get them in, definitely. I also think we need to play really good defense, but we always have a strong defense. So just 2 or 3 facets, field the ground ball, throw it, and hit it.
9 seniors. That's a pretty darn big senior class.
Yes.
What can you say about just the senior class? And they didn't start with the current coach, but still have really gone through a lot and represented Tech well. What can you say about this group as they exit?
They're an incredible group of women. I love them, and I've appreciated everything they give and everything they have brought to the team.
Without getting too much into game plans and whatnot, what do you think is maybe the most important thing for the pitching staff to focus on going up against OU?
I think the most important thing right now for our pitching staff to focus on is working ahead and, using what makes us great. So don't get out of our lanes, as Coach Locke says, stay in your facet that makes you who you are and great.
Yeah, I think that we just have to come out here and have fun. Of course, I mean, it's senior weekend, and there's going to be a lot of people and our families out there supporting us, and that's going to bring a lot of excitement. But we know that we want to win. We want to prove people wrong, and I think if we just go out there, have fun, and just kind of realize, at least for the seniors, like, hey, this is almost it. Let's go out there and give it our all, that we're going to have a good time and hopefully come out successful.
Well, you're right. You said almost it. I mean, I know you guys have more to play for after this, but still celebrating the seniors. What maybe comes to mind first when you think of a group of 9? And that's a large number, and a group that has really gone through a lot, including a coaching change.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Our senior class is just so close, and we're close on and off the field, and that's what's awesome. And getting to celebrate this weekend all together is just awesome because, I mean, we've worked so hard to make it to our senior year, and here we are. And, I mean, it's went so fast. So just being with each other and all of us just getting along, I think it's going to be an awesome weekend.
Clearly, I mean, you need to play complete games to win series like this, but I asked Coach the same thing. What's maybe something you look at and say, if we're expert in this area, we're going to have a chance in all these games?
I would say just getting people on base, honestly. If we can get runners on and produce and find ways to score runs, that we're going to be fine. I think we trust our defense, we trust our pitching, and we trust our hitting as well. So if we can get a few base hits to fall in, we're going to be able to score those runs and hopefully come out on top.
When you look back at maybe the last couple series, you've had a 14-inning game against Texas that didn't go your way, and then this past weekend too that went to the bottom of the 7th and they had walk-off hits. Has there been anything that maybe Coach has tried to instill in y'all lately to maybe overcome and close out games? Is there anything specific she's gone to?
I would say just the fight, and I think that they know and we know that we've been fighting and things just kind of haven't been falling our way. So just continuing to fight and continuing to know, like, hey, eventually it's going to fall our way and eventually we're going to come out on top. That's what's going to keep us going and get us on top.